As Jamaica looks ahead to the coming fiscal year, the 2026 budget speech presented by Opposition Spokesman on Finance, Julian Robinson, has sparked discussion across the political and economic landscape. To help us break it down, the key elements and the potential impact, we're joined by development economist Dr. Christian Stokes. Good morning, Dr. Stokes. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, Delia.
Morning.
Always nice to talk to you when we have issues like this, because we know you know exactly what you're talking about. So let's start at the very beginning. Very good place to start. Your thoughts after hearing the speech? I saw one economist say some practical alternatives were posited. Right. What were your general thoughts?
Okay, so here are my thoughts generally. First of all, I think if you have watched Mr. Robinson over a period of time, he's getting better at this. And he seems to be finding his groove and finding his mojo. So I thought it was a good presentation. That's the first thing. The second thing is he had two very good ideas that I believe should be accepted by the government, specifically around the electronic invoicing system, which has worked very well in some countries, and which I think has an opportunity to increase our tax collection, not our tax rate, or impose new taxes. That's the first thing. The second thing has to do with the visa, the Nomad visa, which again in other countries in the Caribbean has in fact worked well. And the idea is simple. People want to come to Jamaica on vacation. They come here. They wouldn't mind living here. They can work remotely. So let me not just come here on vacation. Let me come and live here and work from here. So these are very good ideas that should be implemented. My challenge
Go ahead.
with those right now is that they don't present an opportunity to raise funds in the time frame that you would need for the 2026-2027 budget. Both of those, I believe, will require some legislation, certainly the digital invoicing, and tremendous amount of technical work to implement the system. So that's not going to happen for this fiscal year. Interestingly, at the end, the way they've sort of, what the big print giveth, the small print taketh away. They're talking about taking back the NHT contribution, not the NHT contribution, funds from the NHT. And then to get back to the money that is needed in the first place, they are proposing additional debt. So it seems a little contorted, but within it, I believe that there are some very good ideas that should be pursued by the country.
Yeah, you answered the question I was going to ask in terms of implementation of the idea and just, what time frame, even though valid, what time frame would it feasibly be able to generate income? But you did say that would be a challenge.
Yeah, we don't have NIDS. And I mean, the thing don't, and we've come a far way, certainly at TVJ and at Registrar General. But this is not something that you say, okay, let's do it Monday morning. It has to be developed. It has to be tested. It has to be checked. Does it work right? And it's people's taxes. People have to be trained. Systems have to be set up. So over the long run, medium term, it will certainly be worth the effort, and I encourage strongly that it be considered. But it is not something that is going to be available to collect an additional dollar come April 1.
Can you talk us through this electronic invoicing system a little bit and what the proposal is for that?
Yeah, so for example, you're going to buy something and get an invoice from the and this is how it works. I know in some Latin American countries where I'm familiar with it. Let's say you're going to get an invoice from your garage, right? That and this is what it's going to cost. That invoice is actually done on a system that is connected to the tax collection agency, so they know at the point of doing business what is due. Right? Now you can immediately see some issues. They in our culture, man, they said, just give me something at the end of the day, or write something on a piece of paper. So you can immediately see the challenges in getting that set up properly. All right. You can also see that if it works well, for those who are willing and who really are not trying to avoid taxes, but it's just too much work. If they connect to that, their invoicing system, that they send out invoices for payments by, that they're produced inside the office. If that is connected to the tax administration in Jamaica, then at the end of the month, end of the quarter, they will know exactly what they have. They'll have the paperwork behind it already. It has already been recorded, and then they can just pay. So it's a very good idea, but you can see the issues along the way, in Jamaica. Well, just give me something, or just take a piece of paper and these sorts of things. Mm-hmm. But we really do, as an economy, need to move past that. And part of increasing the tax, the amount that we're bringing in tax in, has to do with getting more businesses formalized and registered. So that's a whole nother initiative. And if taxes are low enough, more people will do it. And if you're living in Jamaica, benefiting from the taxes, then there is a moral responsibility to register and pay your fair share as well.
I wanted to raise a digital Nomad program as well, Dr. Stokes, because that's also one of the things that he feels could generate some income. And I think the general idea is that individuals who they'll get special permits for remote workers, freelancers, and entrepreneurs to live and work in Jamaica while employed by companies or clients abroad. Is that dependent on the idea that there are people who are entrepreneurs, freelancers, who want to work in Jamaica while having clients abroad? Do we have a demand for that?
All right, so good question. So Barbados has tried it, and it has worked relatively well. I know a couple of other small Caribbean islands, including Turks and Caicos, that is looking at it seriously. But here are the issues. Country people have a saying, "See me and come live with me" is two different things, right? So coming to visit and staying in an all-inclusive is one experience. Coming to say that you live here is an entirely different thing, even if it's 6-8 months, but you live. This is where you live. This is your home. You have to deal with JPS and
everybody else,
whatever other challenges. So first of all, we have to make sure that the cost of living is reasonable, that crime is under control. And here is a kicker. Part of the reason why real estate is so expensive in Jamaica is because people are building for Airbnb, and that raises the price of units in the market generally. Mm-hmm. Because you are paying your mortgage from US dollars collected for renting, whereas I'm trying to pay my mortgage from my $150,000 salary that I just get having left law school. I can't compete with that.
Right.
So we have to be concerned about the inflationary impact on the real estate market that a very successful program would have. That's the first thing. The second thing is they're talking about $2,000 per visa as direct income, and then multiply effect in the economy for somebody. You're buying gas and you're going to the grocery store and your daily, you're going to the restaurant, that kind of thing. So it's post-COVID, that market has grown considerably. Yeah. Because people started working from home, and I say, okay, instead of working from home in Toronto and it's 2 degrees outside, let me work from home in Portland, for example. Mm-hmm. So the theory and the theory is there, the practice has been growing, but we need to be able to organize ourselves to swing it by being attractive, and B, understand the potential impact on the inflationary impact on real estate in the domestic market that we need to be concerned with as well.
Yeah, well, every measure is going to have some kind of ripple effect or consequence.
Yeah, and we have to stop pretending that, blah, 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 this is it and it will solve everything. We need to be clear-eyed about these things that come with pros and cons, Yeah. I'm not running for office. I feel comfortable saying this is good, this may be a challenge, and I'm not guaranteeing that it will work, but I'm saying that it is worth the effort.
Yeah. So generally, Dr. Stokes, have we found in recent history, can we draw on examples where measures that have been proposed by the opposition have been undertaken with great success? You've identified 2 that you said think are good ideas. What's the likelihood of them being adopted by the administration for implementation?
Okay, so you will. So I have a 10-month-old son, right?
Okay.
Which I'm blessed by God after 30 years of trying. Anyway, it's a long story.
Yes, sounds interesting.
And when he takes up his toy, he's a little boy. I cannot get it out of his hand. I can't take it back from him. All right. This is what is happening with taking the $11 billion from NHT. The PNP did it ostensibly to deal with a particular situation around regularizing ourselves with the IMF, and now they cannot wrest it from the Labour Party's hands. They are holding on to it. So yes, I mean, that's just one, more obvious example where something that was done in the previous administration, not just proposed, but done, has been taken on with greater fervor. And as a matter of fact, there are many things around fiscal responsibility that was started under one party that continues under the other. However, on the things that are perceived as politically based, like things we saw during the election the other day, are not, generally speaking, they don't tend to be taken up, at least in the year that they are proposed. They may be stuck in a little later because people know it's a good idea. But I'm hoping, though, for the country's sake. And by the way, it doesn't mean that the JLP does not do what it is planning to do. I'm suggesting that it can do this in addition.
Right.
Because this is an improvement in efficiency which the government has taken on, which there are ministries set up to deal with, which the Prime Minister has touted. So this, I believe, is completely aligned with the general direction that the Jamaica Labour Party is going in anyway in terms of digitization. So look, I'm an optimist. Delia, you know that. I mean, I always think tomorrow will be better than today. So I'm hopeful.
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all Jamaicans and we're all hoping for the best for Jamaica, particularly post Hurricane Melissa. It's going to be a rough road, but hopefully we can all make it smoother for each other. Thank you.
Indeed. Having come this far, I have every confidence we can go further.
Thank you for taking some time to talk with us this morning.
And say hi to your 10-month-old son.
I will. I have to lock up in a room so he doesn't come and...
Is that Stokes, man? What else would you expect from him?
Thanks, Dr. Stokes. Development economist, Dr. Christian Stokes, with us this morning. After a break, welfare fund for journalists, something very, very important. We catch up with that story, give you the details on the other side of this break.